Hi, everybody. Welcome to 5 Minute Ministries. Today, I want to talk about authority. Over the past 50 years, authority has been looked down on. People feel they don't need to obey it, that it's a hindrance, that it's a nuisance. It gets in the way of what we want. And all types of media tells us, including songs, movies, and TV shows, they tell us that if we don't like the rules, if we don't like the laws, then we don't have to obey them. After all, this is America. Don't we have the freedom to do whatever we want? But what does the Bible say about authority? In 1 Peter, the Bible says, obey those in authority who are set above you. And that means anybody who's set above you, whether it be teachers, police officers, politicians, pastors, parents. Whoever is in charge of you is in charge, and you are to obey them. There's no stipulation in there anywhere, except for the ones I'm going to give you in a bit. Why are we to obey the authority? Because God set them above us. Wait, you mean he set Hitler above us? Well, yeah, he sets people in office. He sets people in authority over you. The thing is, they choose how they use their authority. And unfortunately, there's quite a bit of people who choose to abuse their authority. So what do we do about that? Well, first of all, let's talk about obeying the authority. Jesus said, give to Caesar what is Caesar's. Now, he was talking about taxes at the time, but we can expand that a little further. It's not just about taxes. Whatever is due to those in charge, give them their due. If it's a boss, give them the hard work. If it's parents, give your parents, give them the obedience. If it's a politician, obey the laws. It doesn't matter who's set above you, you are to obey them. Now, Jesus even said of the religious leaders at the time that you are to do what they say, but do not do as they do. The religious leaders at the time, they knew what was right and wrong. They knew what the law said, and they taught it to the people. The problem is they weren't doing it themselves. And just because those in authority are not doing what's right does not give us an excuse to not do what's right. We have the attitude, well, they're not doing it, why should I? Well, as children of God, if we are God's examples, so we are to obey the authority above it, because it not only shows us that we are under control of God, it blesses God. It points people to God. So how we treat authority shows us how we treat our God. And we should take our God very, very seriously. Now, when should we not obey authority? When authority is immoral, when unethical, unbiblical, and ungodly. Those are the only times we are to disobey the authority above us. Well, doesn't the Bible say it's better to obey God than man? Absolutely. But if you are obeying man, and man is doing okay, man is doing the right thing, then obeying man is still obeying God. We only do not obey authority when they ask us to do things that is a sin against God. Now, I know in these days there's a lot of people who think the government is trying to keep us out of our churches. Well, the reason for that is to keep us all safe. It's not because of oppression or tyranny or because they want to tear down the church. It's because they want to keep us safe. They have our good and our best in mind. So no, they're not trying to shut down our churches. And I know there's different opinions on that, and I know I'm going to get some negative comments about this particular message, but that's okay. We have a right to an opinion. But if these people are saying, you are not allowed to serve God, you are not allowed to meet because there is no God, then we can disobey the authority. That's it, because that's unbiblical and ungodly. To say there is no God is an ungodly statement. So what do you take away from all this? If you are under anybody's authority, and it doesn't matter whose, you are to obey that person, whether it's your boss, whether it's whoever's in the White House. It doesn't matter whether it's Obama or Trump. We are still to obey him. It doesn't matter who the governor is. It doesn't matter who the teacher is. It doesn't matter who your parents are. You are to obey them. Why? Because when you obey them, you obey God. This has been 5 Minute Ministries, and I'll see you next time.